Today, for the first review of 2026, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Sure Shot and his buddy, which I already forgot the name of. Womp womp. Anyway, this is Sure Shot, and he is a guy of all time, certainly. For Transformers, he is one of the three G1 Target Masters that were introduced that weren't Blur or Hot Rod because they had already existed, obviously. He was one of those weird 87 group of guys. I think it was 87, like the season 4 area of time. His two friends that were introduced alongside of him are these two idiots. Crosshairs, who was released in Siege that long ago and doesn't have a Target Master, though his weapon's colored accordingly, weirdly enough, with the black and red, and isn't his own mold. He's just a repaint of Ironhide. Point Blank, who absolutely sucks, and Sure Shot, who's probably the best or second best. I kind of like Crosshairs, if I'm being honest. I like him or Crosshair. I don't know if it's Crosshairs or Crosshair. But, yeah, those two are, they're whatever. But Sure Shot is fun. He's one of the Transformers of all time. And when I say that, I mean it, because this is his second ever toy. From the 1980s. Again, I'm not sure if it's 86 or if it's 87 that he came out, but if it's 86, he's coming up on 40 years without a toy. That is insane. These guys just started showing up in my area. Him and Quintus. There was also Blastoff, but if I bought Blastoff, that was going to trigger me to go get Vortex and Brawl, and that was going to end well. But Sure Shot's something. His color scheme is very much fire. It's red, orange, and yellow. Not actual, like, oh, this is super good. Just, it looks fiery. One thing that kind of throws me with him, though, is the head. Why is his helmet black? Why can't it be red or yellow or orange? It would make so much more sense and look much better. I know the other two have black heads, but they also have black in their design. The only other parts of, like, bits of black coloration are the tires and the Target Master, but that's a different entity altogether, so it's a little odd. Again, it just seems to not work for me. I don't know what it is. It just seems like it sticks out too much compared to the body, which is kind of insane considering how bright he is. He's super bright. As far as detailing goes, the arms are very, very basic. The only real bit of kibble on them is that little bit of a spoiler, which is removable. Annoyingly so, by the way. The torso is fairly basic, with it just being the main kind of windshield area and roof of the alt form. The legs are red. There's no other paint on it. The difference in coloration is the feet, which are orange, and that's about it. And the shaping's a little weird. The shins are massive. And he has these really, like, they're not skinny thighs. They're standard issue, normal-sized Transformer thighs. But his, like, chins are so big they look tiny. It's weird, honestly. It's not the greatest. His singular accessory is also a Transformer, which I can't remember the name of. Like I said, I threw away the box pretty quickly. I don't know if it's Spoil Sport, maybe? Could that be it? I'm not sure. Anyway, you flip it over like this and flip the gun back, and you get Spoil Sport, or whatever his name is. And he's fine. They kind of cheaped out, though, because if they had made this not hollow, you could have gave him arm articulation, Hasbro. You could have done it. It was doable. Now, as I mentioned, Point Blank also comes with a Target Master. Just to get him in here. Here's Point Blank's. They're very similar, which is nice. You like that they kept the continuity. Hopefully, at some point, they will re-release Crosshair over here with the Target Master, because it's kind of weird that, part of the trio, and he doesn't have one. His gun does transform, though, so there is at least that going for it, but that's about it. And, I mean, as far as everything goes, the only bit of paint on this guy is his visor, which is a bit of a shame. But, hey, at least he turns into a gun or something, Most mid gun ever, but it's a gun. And honestly, yeah. And just to turn him around, his back is also there. Kind of kibbly, kind of hollow all at the same time, with the kind of front end of the car mode chilling back there. The wheels are trying to fill the gap on the back of the legs, but those are hollow. Very hollow. They tried, but not hard enough. But that basically concludes that, which now gets us to the articulation segment, which is pretty standard. Ball-jointed head, which does have some good range. You can actually look all the way up, which is nice. Very good ball joint. Forward, back's a bit blocked off by these wheels. Outward, does have a bicep swivel. Elbow joint. No rotation at the hand, weirdly enough. Like, it seems like it's a severed piece, but it's not. They just actually molded the arm in orange and painted it yellow for some reason. Swivel at the waist, forward, back, outward, swivel at the thigh, but it's a bit restrictive. Knee joint goes like exactly 90, maybe a little above 90, but eh. Forward and back tilt, and a little bit of a in and out. So, box standard as box standard gets at this point. There's nothing unique going on here about this guy. He's just so there. Even his head sculpt is like the most generic thing possible. There's nothing interesting about him. The genuinely most interesting thing is that he's yellow, red, and orange. That's it. And then he's a Target Master guy. That is simply it. Like, there's nothing here. Even his alt mode, let's get to it. The transformation to get there is a little bit intriguing. A little bit. I'll give him that at least. He got something. So you're going to unpeg this back part here and do what you will with that for now. Come to the torso and unpeg it. You're then going to take it, rotate that around like so. Take his head, rotate it down. And you're going to make sure that when you're doing this whole thing, there's a very specific way of setting this up, which I think I just screwed up by moving that slightly. Actually, no, I didn't. I got to go back. It's very odd, if I'm being honest. Everything has to be like perfectly flush with the bottom. And one of the issues that I often have transforming this guy is with the arms and these stupid spoilers, because they go in these shallow little holes. And it's not fun. It really isn't. They love to pop off. And it is the most annoying, egregious part of this entire transformation. It's annoying. It really is. It's not fun to do. And I don't know why they couldn't just mold them. They just decided, you know what? Let's make these severed. They didn't have to, but they did. And what a choice that was, in my opinion. Anyway, for the legs, you're going to want to rotate them around like this. Come to the back of the legs like so. Combine them up. Flip these. No, not flip them in just yet. And what I always thought you were supposed to do here was flip them around. Like, they have the ability to flip over top. You don't. They just collapse. They collapse in like that. That's how they go. I thought they flipped over top when I first got them, which was really like, it seemed like that's where it was going, but that indeed was not where it was going. It seemed like it, but nope. As far as we go here, take the front end here, flip it into place. That just pegs in there. And then the arms, there's a couple points in which they peg in. So you peg the forearms into the feet, and then you plug the wheels into the holes on the arms. Straighten up the spoiler because now it can't pop out because it's in place. And there we have Sure Shot in his alt form, which is a buggy thing. This is like, if you said Transformer, I think I'd be like, yep, I could see it. It's just standard. Again, it's so box standard. The colors are odd, in my opinion. I like the yellow, but the red throws it, in my opinion. Like, if this red was here, I think it's the side red. You know, if this was yellow, I think it'd look better. Maybe these could be red, but, like, these little side parts where the legs are at. Kind of meh. It's an alright alt form, but, again, it just seems so generic and, you know, uninspired again, which kind of goes for the lot of them, I guess. They all turn into weird Cybertronian car guys. The spoiler's actually out of place. I just noticed it is out of place. It won't line up properly. But, I mean, it's fine. It rolls very good. You can put the Target Master on the hood. You can put it on the sides. You can't put it... well, I mean, you can in some ways, but I'd recommend just placing it on the side here. Probably the best place, unless you want the... oh, he doesn't really need a driver, but there's zero visibility coming from that cockpit window there now. And the back end, quite honestly, looks horrible. It's gappy as all could be. There's so many gaps in it. The head's right there. Like, it's right there. Yeah, it's just kind of all right, honestly, and that kind of just goes for him. He's just all right. And so, for my final thoughts on Sure Shot, he's just so box standard. There's not really much that you'd miss if you didn't own the guy, if I'm being honest. He's just so regular. He's fine, normal. I feel like he's the definition of a Transformer. Like, if you thought of a random Transformer, this guy's, he's it. He's just a background guy. He's so generic that, like I said, this is his first toy in almost 40 years. That's how bad it has been for Sure Shot. I remember watching the Hugh Adams review ages ago. Like, ages and ages ago. And that was my first exposure. And I was like, maybe that guy will get a toy at some point. Maybe. And look at that. He finally got a toy. After a quintillion years of waiting. Again, I wasn't really waiting for this guy in the end. I think I said I might have wanted one a bit ago, but kind of faded away, honestly. I mean, he's just such a regular guy. And there's some issues here. Don't get me wrong. I think he's like a 3 out of 5 type figure. He's just so regular that, like, there's nothing overly wrong. He just has those, like, grievances about him. Number 1, shoulder spoilers. Annoying as all could be. And why are they so shallow? You didn't have to make them shallow. If they were a little bit deeper, they would stay in and it wouldn't be an issue. Number 2, man, there should be something on the legs. Give me something. Give me some paint. I don't know, some silver. I don't know. There got to be something you could have done down there. Number 2, honestly, I've already done number 2. Number 3, the hollow legs. It's something that happens, obviously, from time to time, but you couldn't have did anything better than just wheels. But he's just so box standard. He gets a nice 3 out of 5, and that's it. And as far as it goes, his mid-little trio here is complete. And I do mean mid. What a mid-group. And then you look at the Decepticon Target Masters. Those guys are ballin'. Spinister and Needlenose. Are you kidding me right now? And Quake. Quake was pretty good. I gotta get Spinister. I still don't have a Spinister. I have Rotorstorm, but I don't have Spinister. How weird is that? But that is essentially it for my review of Transformers Age of the Prime Sure Shot. This has been Elite signing out.